All right, Earth activist community, this is not a test. Climate change is real, it's here now. And the past few years are starting to really show us how vulnerable a lot of the infrastructure we rely on for shelter, for food, for medicine, for community well-being are not really set up well for the future that we're moving into. We've also seen how when disasters strike, they're not really spread across our community in an equitable way, and that we have a lot of room to grow in this domain. Now, although this is pretty scary and intimidating, the good news is that great challenges also create great opportunity, and they call on us to step up to be our best selves in the world. I'd like to tell you about a new course that we're launching for Earth Activist training, and it's called Designing for Disasters. It's about looking at innovative, permaculture-inspired solutions to some of the biggest challenges of our time. Things like climate change, emergency disaster response, and how to build more regenerative systems and infrastructure in the first place. So who is Designing for Disasters for? Well, first off, it's for people that recognize that climate change is real and it's here now and we need to act, and people that see these vulnerabilities that I'm talking about. It's also for people who want to build the confidence and peace of mind that their family, their organization, or their workplace is actually ready for the challenges that we're about to face, and that they're having a proactive role in preparing and designing a more regenerative and resilient future. It's also for community-minded professionals that know that their organization or their business needs to be better prepared and has a role to play if a disaster ever strikes your community. So whether you work for a government, maybe you work for a not-for-profit or an NGO organization, maybe you work for an eco-village or a farm with a CSA, maybe an outdoor education center, a school, or some sort of land management project. We're going to be taking people from all those different domains and helping them learn the foundations of holistic emergency preparedness, as well as holistic design for a changing climate and a changing world. And if you want to work in one of those fields, this could be a great resume builder as well. And last, it's for individuals that want their own family, community, and neighborhood to be better prepared and be more proactive about the changes that are coming. Now, I know this is a heavy and intimidating topic, but we're going to be approaching it from a real positive and solution-based focus. You don't need any experience to join either. You can come in at any level, and we've got a team of folks waiting to help you figure out how to apply what we're going to be covering to your unique situation. So what exactly do you get if you sign up? This is going to be a 6-week intensive, so we're going to be doing one live class every week for 6 weeks. And on top of that, you'll have a support community where there'll be bonus activities and resources to dig into, as well as assignments that help you apply this to your unique situation. There's also a phenomenal lineup of mentors coming in. So Starhawk's going to be joining us, and she's going to be doing a session on permaculture design for wildfires and how to be better prepared for wildfires. She's also going to be talking about trauma-informed response. So if there's a disaster in your community, how do you take in mind the psychological needs of people under stress in thinking about how you respond and recover? We also have Carrie Ann Charles joining us from Cambium Indigenous Professional Services. Carrie Ann is a Chippewa Anishinaabe woman, and she's going to be sharing from an Indigenous perspective on how they're adapting to climate change in their community and how they're working with the community to create their resiliency plan. Layla Darwish will also be joining us. She's the author of Earth Repair, How to Heal Damaged and Toxic Landscapes. And Layla actually works on a professional level in emergency management for the British Columbia government right now, and she's also worked down in the States. So she has a ton of real-time experience responding and helping people recover from floods, hurricanes, all kinds of events. So she'll be sharing some of the best practices she's learned working on a government level and how you can adapt that again to your organization, your business, your life. And myself, Chris Gilmour, I'll be the lead instructor and I'll be with you on all of the calls and right through the whole journey. And my real passion in life is bridging the worlds of ecology and knowledge of the natural world, because that's the foundation of all life, with permaculture and self-reliance, and then bridging that with the best in modern day emergency management practices to help us adapt to our changing times. So next, let's chat about some of the very specific topics that we're going to be getting into. We're going to be taking a look at some of the modern day emergency management frameworks that are used by large organizations and governments, and what pieces of those can actually be applied to your organization or your life. And as part of one of your assignments, you're actually going to be creating an emergency management plan for your organization or your unique situation. We're also going to be chatting about best practices in community organizing and how to look at all the different assets that you have in your community and how to mobilize them in the face of disaster. And we're going to be talking about some of the most innovative solutions that are coming up right now in how we adapt to climate change and build better infrastructure and better systems for a better future. Oh, and of course, we're also going to talk about very specific disaster situations. So whether it's earthquakes, floods, fires, drought, pandemics, and we're going to look at how do you prepare, how do you mitigate, how do you respond, and how do you recover? And maybe even more importantly, how do you build back better afterwards? So these are some of the main themes that we're going to be covering over the 6 weeks. Now, I know this feels like a big mission and may seem a little intimidating, but it's also real and it's what the times are calling for. And the way that we get through it is by holding each other up, helping each other figure it out, and pooling from the collective wisdom, collective creativity, and the collective strength that we all bring to the table. Our team of mentors coming together to pull off this program, we've worked with all levels from grassroots organizations right up to working with federal government level. And you have an opportunity right now to basically glean from that collective wisdom and that collective experience and to get some mentoring in how to apply that all to the situation that you're in. Climate change is here, the world is changing fast, and the time to come together around all of this is right now. So if this speaks to you and you're interested, I invite you to join us in the next cohort of Designing for Disasters.